Hey everyone, Dylan with the HD perspective here. Got the Matco Tools Flyer for the month of April. Let's go through and review it. First up on the first page, they've got a pretty nice looking toolbox. No price. 1,500 pound spring caster with chrome hubcaps. It's got power, 110 volt, with 2 USB ports to charge items such as laptops. Looks like they've also got a power tool drawer for charging up cordless tools. I've seen the odd Matco box here or there. They look like they're fairly decent quality. One thing I did hear from my Mac rep, but take it with a grain of salt, is their locking mechanism is about 3 inches on the back, so your drawer depth won't be as deep as, say, a Mac or a Snap-on that only uses 1 inch. So something with like a 27-inch toolbox would actually only have 24-inch drawers on a Matco box, where a Mac or a Snap-on might have 26 inches. These next couple pages, they're promoting their high visibility tool sets. Honestly, if this is the best innovation you can come up with, I'm not very impressed. To me, everything in its place and a place for everything. Organization is key. If you have your drawers organized and you can look inside and see exactly what's missing, what should be there, then you know right away and you can go and look for your missing wrench or socket. You don't need neon colors to tell you that your tools are missing. But hey, if bright colors are your thing, then fill your boots. On this page, you got a variable temperature ultra heat gun for $139, and then they throw in a bunch of shrink tube. Honestly, just go to your local hardware store and pick one up for 20 or 30 bucks. And then shrink tube is a consumable, and so your shop should be providing it, in my opinion. Here we've got a stethoscope for $27.95. Probably not a bad deal. Handy to have in the toolbox. Always good for diagnosing that strange squeak you can't find. Next, a relay bypass combo switch set, $82.95. I could actually see the use of this, depending on what you're working on. Ford 6-liter IPR controller for $91.95. I'm not that familiar with Ford 6 liters, but maybe if you work on a lot of them, could be a useful tool to have for testing your injector pressure. Next, you have a compression vacuum and fuel pump tester combo kit for $131.95. Probably not a bad deal. A master compression tester set, $190. Yeah, if you're working on a lot of that stuff, pretty good price. $160.50 for an 80 amp fuse buddy tester. I've never needed one of those, but maybe? I don't know. Here we've got some electronic torque wrenches. If you're doing a lot of engine overhauling, they're really handy to have. Allow you to do your torque turns and different angles and stuff like that. Lots of fancy features. I like that this 3/8 one actually goes all the way up to 100 foot-pounds. Usually the 3/8, they tap out around 75, I think. And then a 1/4 inch drive, 1 to 20 foot-pounds. I have 2 reasons for kind of staying away from the electronic torque wrenches. One is usually they only have a 1-year warranty, and then 2, the price, $510 for a 3/8 torque wrench. You gotta be kidding me. Down below that, you got a 1/2 inch drive, 30 to 150 foot-pound torque wrench. Usually a 1/2 inch drive torque wrench goes up to 200 foot-pounds. 150 seems a little bit short. $362. It's a little bit on the pricey side if you ask me. If you're looking for a really good torque wrench, I suggest going with something from Precision Instruments. And I'll leave a link in the description below, but if you take a look at the Precision Instrument torque wrench, it looks a lot like the Snap-on one. And that's because they actually build the Snap-on torque wrenches with the little turn wheel on the side. They also build them for Mac. The only difference is the ratcheting head on them, but they're really nice. On the right hand side of the page, there's an adjustable wrench with a reversible jaw. The only problem I could see with that is how much I don't know what you want to call it, the bottom jaw sticks out of the wrench. Could be some clearance issues depending on what you're working on. I don't really use crescent wrenches or adjustable wrenches all that much. I mean, every once in a while, they kind of come in handy if you got to do a service call and kind of limited as to what you can bring with you. But if you're in the shop, I mean, just grab the right size wrench. Got a 3/8 by 50 foot air hose for $51.95. Probably not a bad price for that one. Medium barrel air hammer kit for $401.95. I'll leave a link in the description below for an Ingersoll Rand air hammer. No need to spend $401 on an air hammer. At the bottom of the page, they have some tire inflators. One for your standard car tire, and it looks like a truck tire one for getting your inside dual. Prices are a little bit too much for those, $80 and $120 for an air chuck. I've never really been a fan of this style of air chuck either. Probably my favorite one that I've used of this type is the one from Blue Point. And then last thing on the page, a rear disc brake caliper tool. $100. Probably not a bad deal. I've always just used a C-clamp. I've also seen the one from Blue Point. It's kind of got a ratcheting mechanism. They're kind of handy. I'll leave a link in the description. On this page, we have a bunch of stuff that kind of drives me nuts. Like Snap-on and Mac, they're both guilty of it too, but Matco's probably the worst offender. They sell a lot of knickknacks in their catalogs. Things you just don't need or want. Like rechargeable keymate, you gotta be joking me. $32? What do you want that for? And then like a pop-up tent, Matco pop-up tent? Give me some good deals on tools. I don't care about some pop-up tent for $461. And then they have all these funnels. I mean, really? Just get a funnel with a flexible end and be done with it. You don't need an adapter for $68.95. Come on. I'm all about giving credit where it's due, and these dead blow ball peen hammers from Matco are actually really nice. If you compare them with the Snap-on equivalent of the same weight, they're actually a smaller size head on there, so you can get into tighter areas. Maybe, you can get a good swing on something where maybe with the Snap-on you couldn't get in there. And then the dead blow is nice, you get that extra punch with the shot inside. And then $266 for a hex socket bit driver set. Looks like not a bad set, $266. I've seen better prices for, similar sets. And then Silver Eagle's kind of their budget brand anyway, so might as well just go to your local hardware store and pick something up instead. Universal lift support clamp. Yeah, I could see that being useful if you work under the hood of a lot of cars and, the cylinder's kind of weak on them or whatever. Always better to lock it up and be safe. And then, of course, we have more knickknacks. I don't care about basketball, and I don't care about hats. I want good deals on tools. Here we've got a mini impact for $259.80. Could be handy. But then you get this Matco small toolbox. 12 inches wide, 8 inches deep, and 10 inches high. Like, really, what are you going to do with that? Keep that in the bottom drawer of your toolbox? Not worth it. Not at all. At the bottom, we have some body tools. Starter plus stud welder, $379. Alignment bar for $184. I've said it before, Streamlight probably makes some of the best flashlights out there. At least they're the most durable. I put them through a beating and they keep working year after year. If you use a mag light or something like that, I only get a few months out of them. This, like my shop that I work in, is not very well lit, and so I always have my flashlight on me, and it's always on. Now, of course, they don't give you a price in the flyer, but I've priced them out on the Matco truck before. For the one that's not rechargeable, that just uses AAA batteries, they're about $40 to $45. I can imagine that this one would probably be a little bit more since it comes with the rechargeable battery. I'll leave a link in the description to Streamlight, same thing on Amazon. Be a lot cheaper than buying it off the truck, and they'll deliver it right to your doorstep. Here we've got some hex bit socket driver sets. You know, the long reach is nice. For $223. Up here in Canada, we have Canadian Tire, and they have a Mastercraft set that, you know, comes on sale fairly regularly for like 20, 25 bucks. Regular price, I think they're 50. And their impact sockets even. A lot better deal. I'm sure like in the States, Harbor Freight or whatever, you can pick something like this up for a lot better deal. And then at the bottom, we've got some quarter drive 4-piece extension wobble chrome sets. I like the snap-on wobble extensions. Personally, I think they got a little bit more of a wobble to them. So if you're trying to get it at a bolt that's kind of at a tight angle, you know, every little bit helps. And, you know, if you're going to be paying 76 bucks, you might as well get the best that you can get. 8-inch hex ratchet wrench for 55 bucks. Looks like it's a 5/16 head on it, so it won't fit your standard 1/4-inch bits, which is kind of a shame. And then magnetic cordless tool holder, $33. Yeah, you can throw one on the side of your toolbox. You'll probably find a better deal than $33 just for a magnet. And then some quarter drive 14-piece Magic impact socket sets. I don't really use too much in the quarter drive, but if you're into that little stuff, then 64 bucks, probably a decent enough price. 4-piece recessed Torx Plus impact socket set for $104 for 4 sockets. No. You can find a better deal. I'll see if Tecton's got something and leave a link in the description to that. And then 180 bucks for a 5-piece long tapered drift punch set. I've never been one to spend a ton of money on punches. You know, they get beat up pretty good. And it's probably best to just, you know, try and get a deal on it, whether you go to Harbor Freight or Princess Auto, something like that. And we got a magnetic wrench organizer, metric, for 50 bucks. You know, it's not outrageous, but not the best deal either. 6-piece green extra long hook and pick set. You know, I've got a few of these from Snap-on. The one that I use the most is probably the 90-degree hook. Having these kind of weird angles, I don't know how useful they are. Maybe an automotive application where you're, you know, deep inside the engine compartment or something like that. Probably not a bad price, $190. Yeah, it's okay. $144 for a 2-piece green heavy-duty pry bar set. And they even have this striking caps on the end, which is nice. And then more knickknacks. I don't care about sunglasses. I really don't. If I want sunglasses, I'll go to a glasses store. And you got your Matco swag, so you can pay to advertise for those guys. And then on this page, we've got a rechargeable under hood light. I thought it would be not bad kind of deal, but then I saw the price, $152. No thank you. A relay test jumper kit for 80 bucks. Yeah, I don't know. Just try a different relay. You know, you can always swap them around inside the engine compartment, or if you've got a few in your toolbox, just save them. Multifunction test lead kit for $447. Whoa. Or you can get the 130-piece test lead kit for $474. I guess if you do a lot of electrical, you know, could be good, but price, once again, an issue. Quarter drive square twisted hex socket set for $84. Not the best deal, not the worst, it's okay, metric and standard. And then actually this is a good deal, swivel head rivet gun for 37 bucks. I don't know if you'll find one anywhere else much cheaper than that. Probably pretty good. 140 bucks for a master power steering pulley set. Not a bad deal, pretty good. And then you got your Silver Eagle 5-piece plier set for $86. I'd say save your money and just get some Knipex. And then they've got a plier rack for $32. I've actually bought this exact plier rack off the Matco truck for $15, and it wasn't that long ago. For $49.50, they've got some crimping tools. Actually, probably a pretty good price. And then a 3/4 drive torque wrench, 100 to 600 foot-pounds for $8.94. I would check out the Precision Instruments 3/4 torque wrench. It breaks down into 3 pieces, so it'll fit in your toolbox a lot nicer. It's got the turn wheel on the side, so you can crank it up to 500 foot-pounds quickly for doing your tires, back it back down again, and it's a couple $100 cheaper. Then there's the Dirty Max water and fuel separator or sensor wrench for $39.95. I'm not that familiar with the Duramax, so it's probably not a bad price for a specialty tool. 9-inch crimping tool for $75, and then a 7-ton puller and a bearing separator for $162. Oh, that's a good price. We have some triple square stubby bit driver sets, $171, and then a quarter drive torque set. The low profile is nice. The price isn't. I don't know what else there is to say. At the bottom of the page, they've got a generator, a couple of generators, and a pressure washer from Champion. Why don't you just go to Costco and pick that stuff up? Last page, we've got a 1/2-inch drive, 8-piece axle nut socket set. They don't actually give you the sizes that are included in the set. I would say it's not a bad price, but I need to know the sizes. $312 for a 1/2-inch drive, 57-piece Silver Eagle set. I find I don't really use my chrome stuff in the 1/2-inch drive. It's too big to be pulling on a ratchet for. I just rather have an impact set, so save your money. Don't bother with the chrome set. Get an impact set, and you'll be much better off. 1/2-inch drive, 13-piece metric stubby impact set for $121. The price is okay, it's decent. And then a 1/2-inch drive, 28-piece deep impact socket set for $295. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed with this flyer. There were a few good deals in there, but you had to look pretty hard to find them. Most of the other stuff was kind of overpriced or something that you don't really need. A lot of knickknacks. I don't really care for it. Anyways, if you like this review or found it useful, please hit thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.